Something big is happening quietly inside the world's most powerful financial institutions, and most people have no single idea. Central banks, the same institutions that tell us to trust currencies, manage inflation, and defend our money, are moving billions out of paper money and into gold. Not small amounts, by the way. Between 2022 and 2025, central banks around the world bought over 4,000 tons of gold. That is the biggest gold buying wave we have seen in decades. Now, pause and think about that for a moment. These are not retail investors chasing headlines. These are the institutions managing national wealth, the people who print the money. And Africa is right in the middle of this story. One major African central bank recently grew its gold reserves to $3.5 billion. And here's the part that really caught my attention. They did not use US dollar to buy it, they used their own local currency to buy internationally recognized gold, priced by London standards, without touching their foreign exchange reserves. In a world where the dollar is supposed to be king, that is a quiet revolution. And I will show you exactly which central bank it is and why they did it in just a moment. Because at the same time, the dollar's share of global reserves keeps falling. And if central banks are reducing their dependence on the dollar, we should at least ask why. Because for the average African investor, this is personal. For us here in Nigeria, we felt it when the naira moved and purchasing power disappeared almost overnight. Across Africa, you feel it every time your salary stays the same, but your life becomes more expensive. That is the real issue. Today, I want to show you why it is happening and what it means for every African investor, regardless of which country you are in, and how smart investors across the continent are thinking about positioning their money in response. This is not a doomsday video. This is a thinking video. And by the end of it, you have a clear framework for what to do with this information. Let's jump right in. Now, to really understand why the central banks are moving out of the US dollar, we need to go back to one specific moment in 2022 that changed how central banks on earth think about storing their country's wealth. You see, in February 2022, the United States and its allies froze Russia's foreign exchange reserves, approximately 300 billion US dollars, just like that. Money that Russia had been building up for years, stored in the dollar-denominated assets, was locked. Russia could not touch it. Now, whether you agree with the politics of that decision or not is a separate conversation. But every finance minister and every central bank governor around the world watched what happened and asked themselves the same question. If it can happen to Russia, can it happen to us? And gold became the answer, because gold cannot be frozen. It cannot be sanctioned. Nobody can send you an email saying gold is now inaccessible. If you hold it physically, it is yours. No foreign government can lock it with a policy decision. That is the moment the gold buying wave started, and the numbers prove it. In 2022, the World Central Bank bought 1,136 tons of gold in a single year, the highest amount recorded since 1950. In 2023, 1,051 tons. In 2024, 1,045 tons. 3 consecutive years of buying at levels the world had not seen in over 70 years. In total, between 2022 and 2025, central banks added over 4,095 tons of gold to global reserves. That is more than 8 times the annual average from a decade before. Now, the question is, who is buying? This is the part that matters the most. The biggest buyers globally have been Poland with 192 tons, India with 73 tons, Turkey with 75 tons, and China having consistently also been buying. These are all countries reducing their exposure to decisions made in Washington. But Africa as well is buying too. Ghana added approximately 11 tons in 2024 alone, reaching over 37 tons total. Egypt bought 44 tons in a single stretch in early 2024. And that major African central bank, which I mentioned earlier, that is the Central Bank of Nigeria. The CBN grew its gold holdings to $3.5 billion, and they did it in Naira, not USD. So the picture is not just that gold is popular. The picture is that countries most vulnerable to dollar strength are the ones buying gold the fastest. And while all of this is happening, the dollar itself is losing ground. You see, in the late 1990s, the dollar made up about 72 to 73% of global foreign exchange reserves. Today, that number has fallen to 56.3%. That is a multi-decade low. The euro has grown to 21%, the renminbi at about 2%, and what analysts call other currencies, a basket that includes gold and alternative assets, has now surged to over 20% of global reserves. The dollar is not dead, don't get me wrong. It is still the world's dominant reserve currency, but its dominance is no longer unquestioned. For you as an investor in Africa, the question is not whether the dollar will collapse tomorrow. The question is simpler than that actually. Your savings, your salary, your investment, how many of them are directly tied to the fate of one currency that the world's smartest institutions are quietly reducing their exposure to? By the way, if you are finding this video useful so far, please take just 2 seconds of your time to smash the like button. It helps more Africans find this conversation. Now, let's jump back into the video. One question is, why does a global shift in central bank reserves matter to you sitting in Lagos, Nairobi, or Johannesburg, or anywhere in Africa, or anybody interested in investing in Africa? Well, it matters because of a fundamental vulnerability that every African investor lives with, whether they know it or not, which is dollar dependence. You see, every major African currency, the Naira, the Rand, the CD, the shilling, is priced against the US dollar, which means when the dollar strengthens, your local currency weakens. Even when absolutely nothing has changed in your local economy, your government has not made bad decisions, your country has not had any recent bad crisis, the dollar just moved and your life gets more expensive. Now, let me show you how this plays out in real life. I'm going to use Nigeria as the primary case study because the data here is so stark, but the principle is the same for your local currency. You see, in 2023, Nigeria unified its foreign exchange windows. The Naira dropped from roughly 460 Naira to the dollar to over 1,600 Naira by 2026. That is your purchasing power cut by more than half. And here is what makes this concrete. Seplat Energy, one of the best run oil companies in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, saw its profit fall by 59% in the first half of 2023. Not because the business was struggling, their revenue actually grew by 27% in Naira terms. They were producing more, selling more, doing everything right. But because the currency collapsed against the US dollar, their real profits fell by more than half overnight. That is the paper trap. You can own a great company in a growing economy or sector with solid management and still lose because of the currency sitting underneath it. Now, here's what makes this interesting. Across Africa, the institutions managing our currencies are quietly responding to this exact problem. When we look at the data, the results we are striking. The Central Bank of Nigeria hit $3.5 billion in gold reserves. But look at the math. In 2024, the value of Nigeria's gold reserves jumped from 1.28 trillion naira to 2.7 trillion naira. Did not buy a single extra gram of gold. The value surged simply because gold went up while the naira went down. The CBN effectively made nearly 1.5 trillion naira just by holding the right asset while paper currency weakened. That is not luck. That is what happens when you hold an asset that moves in the opposite direction to your currency. And they are not alone. The Bank of Ghana launched the Ghana gold coin in 2024. 99.9% pure gold that ordinary citizens can buy in CD through commercial banks. Ghana is literally telling its citizens, do not just chase dollars, buy this instead. The central banks are not waiting. They are already building the hedge. The question is, what does the ordinary African investor do with this information? Because central banks can buy physical gold in tons, they can hold special drawing rights, they can diversify reserve currencies. But you have a salary, you have savings, you have a portfolio. What do you actually do? Personally, I am an investor based in Nigeria. And when I see what central banks are doing, I ask myself one question. What is the smart money telling me about how to protect the purchasing power of my wealth? Let me walk you through how I think about this because it is applicable for you regardless of your location. Now, I think about it in 3 ways. Gold exposure, equities in companies that earn in US dollars, and what not to do. Now, let's start with gold. As of the moment of shooting this video, gold is trading at approximately $4,723 per ounce. Over the last 5 years, it has surged over 120%. In 2025 alone, gold hit over 50 all-time highs and returned more than 64%. That is not a coincidence. That is what happens when the world's most powerful institutions are all buying the same assets at the same time. Now, the argument against gold is that it pays no dividends, and that is actually true. But that is the wrong frame. Gold is not meant to grow your wealth the way a business does. Gold is meant to preserve your wealth when the currencies around you is losing value. It is an insurance. And in Africa right now, that insurance is particularly valuable. When the Naira weakened in 2023, gold in Naira terms did the opposite. The same gold that cost you less in Naira before the devaluation became worth significantly more Naira after it. The currency moved against you. The gold moved with you. Now, how do you assess it? That's the next question. If you're in South Africa, the GSE has the new gold ETF, physically backed by gold held in vaults, and the one vest gold ETFs with a lower expense ratio at 0.25%. If you're in Nigeria, the new gold ETF is consisted on the NGX and returned over 113% in Naira terms in 1 year as of late 2025. If you're in Ghana, the Ghana gold coin is available through commercial banks and CD. Ghana is telling its citizens to hold the same assets the central bank is hoarding. And if you use bamboo or trove in anywhere in Africa, in Nigeria, Ghana, anywhere, you can access the SPDR GLD on the New York Stock Exchange. Gold exposure in dollar terms through the same product institutional investors worldwide use. That's what you can access through these platforms. Now, the second asset is equities. You see, not all equities perform equally when your local currency is weakening. The ones that do the best are companies that earn in US dollars but are listed on your local exchange. When your currency weakens, those companies automatically become more valuable in local terms. Seplat is the clearest example on the NGX. They sell oil in US dollars but are listed in Naira. During the 2023 devaluation, their Naira revenue grew 27%. Their dollar profits initially fell due to accounting adjustments, and the market panicked. People sold, but by the fourth quarter of 2023, the stock had recovered 20% because oil is priced in dollars. When the Naira is worth less, the Naira price of those same dollar barrels goes up. The market corrects. Right now, Seplat is on fire on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The investor who understood the hedge and held through the noise was rewarded. The one who panicked missed a 20% recovery. The same logic works in South Africa. Miners who export gold, platinum, and other commodities earn in dollars but pay cost in rand. The GSE Satrix RSI 10 ETF gives you a basket of these companies. Own companies that earn a stronger currency than the one you live in. When your currency weakens, those companies become more valuable automatically. This is applicable across anywhere in Africa. Now, the third thing, which is what not to do. You see, the highest risk position an African investor can be in right now is keeping the majority of their savings as idle cash in a single African currency. Not because African currencies are going to zero, but because dollar dependency means that in any given year, a decision made in Washington can cut your purchasing power by 10, 20, or 30%, independent of anything you did wrong or anything that changed in your local economy. You do not need to predict whether the dollar will collapse. You do not need to predict anything at all. You simply need to ensure your wealth is not entirely dependent on the stability of one currency that the world's most sophisticated institutions are quietly reducing their own exposure to. Diversification is not a sophisticated strategy. It is the baseline. Gold for preservation, dollar earning equities for growth that hedges currency risk, and local market investment for participation in your own economy's upside. The central banks started doing this years ago. The question is, when would you start your own? Drop a comment below right now telling me where you are watching from and the one asset you are using or thinking about using to protect your wealth. I read every comment and your response shapes what I research next. Now, let me speak specifically to the Nigerian investor for a moment. You see, Nigerian foreign exchange reserves are currently sitting at around 40 to 42 billion US dollars. That is a strong position and genuinely good news for financial stability. But high reserves do not automatically mean a strong Naira. Reserves are a buffer for international obligations, imports, debts, currency difference. Even with $40 billion in reserves, the parallel market rate today sits at a premium of about 14% over the official rate. That gap has narrowed significantly from the 50% plus gap of 2023, which is real progress. But the structural demand for dollars in Nigeria has not gone away. So how do I think about my own portfolio? Well, I keep a base of Naira assets and then NGX stocks mutual funds, fixed income instruments. These participate in Nigeria's economic growth and I understand them the best. I'm not abandoning Naira investing. The Nigerian market has delivered extraordinary returns and will continue to do for people who know how to navigate it, right? But also keep a portion in assets that are not at the mercy of the Naira on any given day. Gold exposure through the new gold ETF on the NGX, dollar-denominated assets through Bamboo and Trove. These are not complicated products. They are accessible to any Nigerian investor with a smartphone. The allocation does not need to be any specific number. The question is to ask yourself this: if the Naira moves significantly tomorrow, what percentage of your wealth would be directly affected? If the honest answer is most of it or all of it, that is the gap this framework is designed to help you address. You do not need to predict the future, guys. You just need to build a portfolio that does not require you to. So this is really the question. If central banks are quietly reducing their dependence on the dollar, what does your own money depend on right now? That is the conversation. The framework is simple: gold for preservation, new gold ETF on the NGX or JSE, Ghana Gold Coin or global ETFs through Bamboo and Trove, dollar earning equities for growth that naturally hedges currency risk, and then keep your local market base for participation in your own economy's upside. The central banks figured this out years ago. The question is when you do. If this video helps you think differently about your money, do me a favor, guys. Please share it with one person in your circle who is still keeping everything in cash. That share costs you nothing, by the way, and it might change the way someone important to you thinks about their financial future. And be sure to subscribe to the channel as well, leave a comment, share the video, and until next time, my colleagues, stay sharp, stay safe, and invest wisely. Deal.